That's just like that watered down Ryan Day of an offensive play caller named Lincoln Riley. When he gets exited out of here because Sharon Moore, James Franklin, Dan Lanning, and Ryan Day are kicking his arse every year, and you get a new coach, you're gonna turn back those dark years you turned into after Pete Carroll. You're never gonna see a Big Ten championship. You're never gonna see a national championship. You're never gonna see that. You're never gonna even see.
Alrighty, welcome back. Another episode.
We are on 49, I believe. Oh, it's 50. Oh, let's go. Let's go. Where's the confetti? We don't get that anymore.
Oh, this is not working. We'll do last time.
There we go.
We'll throw some in post.
I like that.
Episode 50, my man. 50 episodes, 204 subscribers.
Yep.
Decent averages for views.
Mm-hmm.
One national championship. What a show. What a show and a season this has been.
Oh man, it's been okay. I've enjoyed it, man. Congrats to you, Bryce. And congrats to everyone for sticking it out with us. We really appreciate it. Actually, I'm trying to find it. I'll give them a shout out here later. But there was someone on our episode 49 who actually gave us a shout out who said congratulations to us on episode 50. So I'll get his name here and we can give him a shout out here quick.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we'll drop it in here as well. All right, we got a bunch to talk about today, so we're gonna dive right in. The first thing we need to do is address your top 5 list. Give us your top 5 Big Ten coaches.
Ryan Day is number 1 in the conference right now. It's not even a conversation. Dan Lanning number 2.
Why is Dan Lanning 2? I don't understand why he's all of a sudden held so high. He hasn't.
No. You know what? You're right, Bryce. James Franklin 2.
Has he won the conference?
He's won the conference. He beat Urban Meyer. Number 3, Blue Fickle. Dan Lanning at 4. I don't care. I like what he's doing over at Oregon. I don't care. He's 4. Then 5, Kirk Ferentz. I respect what Kirk Ferentz has done for so long. Be at this age and still be innovative and fine. I don't care. I know it's the worst division ever.
Innovative? We're calling
No, Bryce. When I say innovative, I mean he's the worst with the times. He's gone through 3 generations of football. He had a top 50 offense for the last 3 years. I think he could have got a national championship.
I know, we've said that. We said if he had...
Yeah.
But I also think he's got to be knocked for that. I think if you're the head coach, you have to find an offensive mind to come in. That's part of the job. Like, Ryan Day's defense was an issue. He went out, found a defense.
Right. Well, Sun's gone now, so...
Maybe that's what was preventing. Nepotism was in the way. We tapped into... I got a couple questions, a couple things to talk about, but boy, did we tap into USC Twitter. And you upset a lot of Trojans.
Bryce, so do me a favor. Ask me if I care.
I know the answer to that. I know you don't care. So why tell the people once for all why you don't have Lincoln in the top 5?
You don't get to listen. Lincoln Riley arguably he has a top 15 roster in college football. He has a top 15 roster in the game of football of 133 teams. And you pulled out 8 and 5 out of your arse. That's what you did. So, take all the Oklahoma years. Even though I hate this argument, but everyone always says, oh well, and this is why I always hate the Lincoln Riley is better than Ryan Day argument, because they always say, oh well, Ryan Day was born on third base. Ryan Day was given all of Urban's players. We never said that for Lincoln Riley coming out of the Bob Stoops era. We never said that. And so with that being and they're both the OCs at the college or the institution that they or the program they were handed, or the job that they earned. But we never said that about him. You got 3 Heisman players, cool. That doesn't mean anything to me as your coach. That means you know how to make calls, call plays, and develop the quarterback position and recruit well on the offensive side. What have you done as a head coach? Now, let's just because I don't think Ryan Day until last year has become a good coach. Because I think he was, and this year we know hopefully we see him completely get it all out of here. Lincoln Riley has still never put together a good defense. Never. And I'm gonna say it again, just in case you USC fans didn't hear me. Plus, you guys don't even really like football in LA. I've been to LA. I lived in San Diego. I go to the football games. It's half empty. There's probably more Western Michigan fans than USC fans when I went to the game.
That's a quick nod to our
Oh,
trip we took years ago.
yes. You were there, Bryce.
Go Broncos.
Inside. Yep. Oh, shout out to you. Good grief. We went to the see uh I don't know. I'm blanking on the quarterback's name. From South.
Bro, Wasink.
Yeah, we went to see Wasink, Johnny Wasink. And so
So I think
I don't understand what's wrong with me after he went 8-5 of saying that.
I think that I would have put him in my top 5. I think
Over who?
I would have put him in
over Kirk.
Over Kirk. Yeah.
So why does he deserve to be over Kirk Ferentz?
The Oklahoma program he took over, I'm looking here. Mm-hmm. They won a natty. They won a BCS championship in 2008. Yeah, 2008. Before that, they had some success. So Stoops last year, he won 11-2. The year before that, he won 11-2. Lincoln Riley took over a pretty good program, but then he had playoff appearances.
11-2, back-to-back 11-2 programs at the at Oklahoma is not pretty good, Bryce. It's Oklahoma. It's a top 5 program in college football history. So let's not just poo-poo 11-2. Come on, stop.
But then he went 12-2, 12-2, 12-2. 2020 went 9-2. It was COVID. Mm-hmm. They had 3 playoff appearances in there, 3 Heismans. I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna say I'm gonna put him above Ryan Day. Don't get mad at me.
Can you tell me why?
Just for that, I think he's done more.
So he's done more. All right, tell me what he's done more as a coach. Take away the Heismans because that's the player. Tell me what he has done that is better than Ryan Day.
Well, I mean, taking away the Heisman, that's a big. These guys Heisman Trophy winners.
Because I know a lot of great. Bryce. I know a lot of great coaches who don't have Heisman winners, so I don't care about that. That's on the player. So tell me what he has. No, Bryce. Tell me what he has done.
Look at Baker in the NFL. Look at Kyle.
That's not what I'm asking you. That's not what I'm asking.
But that's what I'm telling you.
No, Bryce. That's the player, Bryce. And actually, here's the truth of the matter. Ryan Day's quarterbacks are better in the NFL. That's the truth of the matter. So I don't
know about that. CJ is. CJ's one of the
top Bryce, and that's where Bryce, and after that, the other ones, Kyler, he's busting. Baker Mayfield, he's a vagabond. He just goes from place to place. And then who's the third? Who?
That's good. You want to count Jalen Hurts in there too?
Mm-hmm.
And then he has Caleb Williams too.
And we'll see what Caleb is. As of right now, Ryan Day has put the better quarterback in the league.
He has a playoff win.
Right, good. Stop. Now, that's what I'm getting to. Tell me, take away the 3 Heisman because that's a player's accomplishment. Tell me what Lincoln Riley has done more than Ryan Day. Go ahead.
With like the team, so
I'm still here. I'm still here. Sorry, I had to fix my light. Go ahead.
Yeah. I think the team comparisons are very similar.
How so?
I think the results going 12-2. The one difference is Ryan Day has a playoff win in a fake season.
He still got it. So I would stop.
Maybe give him a nod.
No, it's not a maybe nod, Bryce. It's one thing, Bryce, if we had won the game weirdly, we beat the crap out of Clemson, Bryce. So that doesn't matter to me. That doesn't matter. At the end of the day, mind you, that team had less reps than every other team that got to the playoff that year.
That's true.
So like they weren't as finely tuned as these other teams, and it didn't matter. And they went to the national championship. I think that 2020 Bama team was greatness. We came in that game, lost Trey Sermon on the first play of the game, and Fields came in that game injured. So I want to know what Lincoln Riley has. I'm telling you this right now, Bryce. You've never seen Ryan Day have an 8-5 season.
Yeah, no, the big thing that Lincoln Riley did was find a defensive coordinator. Or not Lincoln Riley, sorry, Ryan Day, defense coordinator. And I said that. Give him credit for that.
But even when he didn't have he was Bryce, even when that was happening, you never saw him go 8-5.
Yeah, the 8-5 in the Pac-12 is not good. And that's they had a horrible defense, and it's the job of the head coach to get a defense.
You know, Bryce, if you do have a horrible defense, like 2018 Ohio State, and that's my problem. We can't hear and say like, oh, he has to find a defense. He has to be a defensive coordinator like Ryan Day. Whoa, 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 whoa! Even without that D coordinator, he still won the Big Ten. He still won it. Even with the worst defense in Ohio State history, he still won that conference.
All right, USC fans, sound off. You're part of this now.
I think I just talked you into it too. I think you know I'm right. It's okay.
Harrison, you know how I feel about Ryan. He's got to win before I'll give him any respect.
I don't care how you respected Jim Harbaugh before he ever won a conference championship. Jim Harbaugh won his
situations.
No, it's not. Jim Harbaugh
yes,
won his
first. Yes, it is. That's
Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh won his
Harrison.
first. Hold up, he won his first FBS conference championship in 2021. Never before had he ever done that. So you still gave him respect, didn't you? All right then.
Yeah, programs were in very different places when both coaches took over.
Don't care.
Yeah, well, you might not care, but that matters.
You still had the set.
Oh, Dan Lanning. Why do people like it? What am I missing with Dan Lanning? I'm genuinely curious. I'm not trying to troll Ducks fans. I'm genuinely curious. What has he won? What has he done?
Nothing worth of note. I mean,
he could.
Excuse me.
He could.
Yeah. Excuse me, Bryce. I gotta sneeze. But no, I think I think BS Bryce
over there.
No, I think it's that these last two seasons. I think that's what it is. My thing with that is that he has not won the conference yet, or he has never won it. Now, granted, he was part of the national championship team. He was.
Yep. Legit defense.
At the same time, and I put this on there because it was like, oh, you let him change your mind that quickly. I said, no, I'm quick on my feet. I'm quick with my brain. The first thing I thought was, I need more than 2 years.
I think that's
I need more than 2 years.
He was a 9.5 point favorite in the conference championship game. A team that, you know how hard it is to beat teams twice? And he lost as a 9.5 point favorite.
It's very hard.
You can't ignore that.
And yeah, you're right, Bryce. You're right. And I think that, like, even when Bryce, I was calling Ryan Day a better coach than Jim Harbaugh. At that time when I said that, Ryan Day won the conference, destroyed Jim Harbaugh in his first game ever. Like his first rendition of the game ever that he coached in as a head coach. I had reason behind it. There's no reason to have Dan Lanning at number 2 right now. I can't put you over I can't put you over Franklin. I can't.
Just can't.
I can't.
He could next year. Could very well.
Because this is all I know. This is all I know about Kirk Franklin.
James Franklin.
I'm telling Kirk Franklin
is a singer.
Is a gospel singer. This is all I know about James Franklin. In the last 2 regular seasons, he's lost 4 games.
Yeah.
And who are those 4 games to?
Number 1 and number 2.
I'm not gonna sit here and just destroy him for it.
No.
So
the dude won at Vanderbilt. I think you can say whatever you want about him. He won at Vanderbilt.
Yes.
You see how impossible that is.
Back to back 9-win seasons. That's was impossible there.
If you win over 4 games there, you're a good coach.
Yes. So yeah, I don't know. Listen, you Big Ten newcomers, I welcome you. Oregon, I do believe you are the future with Ohio State of this conference. USC, I believe you are Nebraska 2.0.
Wow.
I think you're Nebraska 2.0. I don't see anything coming out of you guys. You might get 9-win seasons every year like Nebraska did. And back then, I even told my dad, as soon as Nebraska fired Bo Pelini, they're never turning back into that. Never. And what's going to happen is that your head coach that what do you call something that's just like that watered down Ryan Day of an offensive play caller named Lincoln Riley when he gets exited out of here because Sharon Moore, James Franklin, Dan Lanning, and Ryan Day are kicking his arse every year. And you get a new coach, you're gonna turn back into those dark years you turned into after Pete Carroll. You're never gonna see a Big Ten championship. You're never gonna see a national championship. You're never gonna see that. You're never gonna even see a playoff in my estimation until like over the next few years. Get used to it. Love it. Enjoy your spot. Okay, I'm done.
We'll be sure to tag him in that
Yeah,
clip.
please do. Please do.
That'll go well.
Please do.
All right.
This just flowed out of me.
Very good. Very good. Okay, let's talk about what's been a heated debate. And this was probably a heated debate early mid last week. So we're gonna bring it back because I think it's gonna be one that's not gonna go away anytime soon.
Yeah.
Is the third we'll just title this the third base argument. Third base debate. So before we get into this, I am convinced you guys and maybe just other Buckeye fans didn't fully understand what the quote meant and what it was
I'm,
about.
I'm guessing Josh Pate too,
Yeah,
because
but
he said argument is stupid.
I think he's half. I think he's missing some of it. But
Oh,
you guys brought in a Barry Switzer quote at one time,
because that's where it came from. That's where it was coined. That's where it was literally coined. If you didn't know
but
that, Bryce.
that doesn't mean that's what Jim Harbaugh got it from, or that's who Jim Harbaugh got it from. So I'm not convinced we fully understand or we fully are aligned on what the third base argument is. And so the point here is Sharon Moore is Sharon Moore born on third base? If Michigan fans are going to say that. Would you want to talk about a third base coach? Juwan Howard. I can't believe that. Okay, we're not going to talk about that right now. So, yeah, Sharon Moore, third base, like
Okay.
Ryan Day.
Okay.
So, Garrison, maybe I'll just start.
No. Go ahead, Bryce, because I'm listening to this right now. I have information on information, so I want to make sure that you have your time. So please do not hand me the floor or ask me any questions unless they're rhetorical. And and let me know if they're rhetorical or not. Please do.
Well, I'll preface it like this. I'll tell you this. I made this abundantly clear. I do believe Ryan Day was born on third base. I believe he was given a program that required no rebuilding, and he was given the keys to a Ferrari that was fully loaded with gas and a full free highway with not a single car on it. And he was ready to run, ready to sprint. And we can talk about what he's done with that at another time, but we'll talk about the origin story here. Talk about being on third base. So I do think that. So if we're going to keep that analogy of baseball, being born on third, coming home, I do believe Sharon Moore is born with a leadoff on second. Pretty good, right?
Yeah, I guess. That was a good way to put it.
The reason I'll say it's different, because I went back and looked. So previous season, Ryan Day took over the 2019, 2018, you guys finished 13-1, lost that one to Purdue, but then beat Washington in the Rose Bowl. And you had a returning offensive coordinator, Kevin Wilson, but then you had the new defense coordinator, which do you remember those guys? The Judas himself, Greg Madison.
Greg Madison.
And then, which that was kind of...
Which is, excuse me, Bryce, a bunch of people said I was crazy to think that to put Mike Hart in that poll for the next Ohio State OC or co-OC if Bob was to leave Bill O'Brien. And everyone said it was crazy to put Mike Hart there. I said, that ain't the first time that coach from Michigan came to Ohio State. It ain't the first time.
No chance Mike Hart goes to Ohio State.
Like I told this other person, Bryce, maybe so. I put some wild ones out there. You put Toledo's OC out there. But hey, I'm pretty sure back in the 50s, Bryce, no one thought Bo was going to Michigan. I'm pretty sure of it.
But okay, but you're missing context there. I don't think Greg Madison would be the same as Mike Hart. Greg Madison coached with Urban Meyer at not Notre Dame. Where was he at Florida or Utah?
Yeah, but I'm saying people probably didn't think from Columbus that Bo would go to Michigan. I'm pretty sure Woody didn't think that. Ever.
Remember, Al Washington went to Michigan, and then he went back to Ohio State. So
It happened. I mean, it happens.
it
It's not
happens. It happens.
like
But Mike Hart's a legend.
Justin Bourne played. He's a legend for going 0-4. Justin Bourne played at Michigan. What did he do? Transferred to Ohio State. So it's not just. It's not like out of the realm of possibility.
Well, he
That's all I'm
was
saying.
a Lloyd Carr commit, and he was Ohio boy, and then Rich Rod came in, completely threw the
That's
program on
it's
his head.
still transferred.
And he had a little brother. But then you have Ben Van Sumeren and Max Van Sumeren,
Yeah,
who went to
but
Michigan
shit.
State. So it happens.
I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah. So, anyways, you had the returning offense coordinator, Kevin Wilson. You got a new DC, Greg Madison. And then you also have Jeff
Mm-hmm.
Hapley, which then has went to Boston College. And then, of course, took a
Right.
job in Green Bay, which is another conversation for another time, just talking about how the future of coaching in college football and why I think we're going to see more and more coaches leave for the NFL, even if they're downgrading positions, downgrading. Then you look at Sharon Moore. He was your OC, got promoted into it. But then Matt Campbell, his quarterbacks coach, is taking over as offensive coordinator. And you got Grant Newsom, who's stepping into the offensive line coach. So, point being, his offensive staff is staying there. He does have to find a new DC though. The so those situations are very similar. The difference is the one difference. The reason why I'm not saying Sherrone Moore isn't born with an advantage, born on second with a leadoff, but or not a leadoff. What's it called? Yeah, a leadoff, right? When you lead off the base, that
Yep.
sounds right. And that's talking baseball. I think the returning talent is the difference. So you guys got back Justin Fields, Dobbins.
Justin Fields was not a returning player in 2019. He transferred in 2019.
Yeah. But he would have been talking with Ohio State then, because didn't Day get announced in January? So he's already been in conversation. I think he was going to come to Ohio State no matter what.
He was in conversation, but that was 2019 still. He is announced as the head coach. What
Yeah.
I am saying is if Urban's the coach, Bryce, I had to tell all you guys this and multiple times. Ryan Day, not Ryan Day, Jim Harbaugh's got, not, my God, Urban Meyer's
Get it
guy
together.
was Tate Martell. That was his guy. If Ryan Day is not the head coach at Ohio State, Justin Fields probably doesn't come. And the reason he probably doesn't come, Bryce, is because one of his biggest reasons for leaving Georgia, which he eventually talked about, was that Georgia wouldn't want to be come to the game. They wouldn't use him as a passer. They use him more as like a Tim Tebow type, the Dak Prescott type, the running a lot. He didn't want to run a lot. And when he got to Ohio State, Ryan Day is the head coach. He passed the ball. If he had gotten there, Bryce or Urban was going to run to the ground, and that's not what he wanted. So that's not a for sure thing. He was coming to Ohio State.
I don't think I thought he wasn't looking anywhere else though. I thought it was Ohio State. Maybe Penn State because he was committed there at one point.
Mm-hmm. It was Ohio State and Penn State.
Okay. Well, so you had J.K. Dobbins, you had the offense. I didn't look at the defense. I'm assuming
Mm-hmm.
people were returning on defense. But you're saying though that 2018 defense was hot trash. So maybe
It
that's
was
not
hot
really worth
trash,
much.
and then 2019 they became the number one defense in the nation.
Yeah. So I just think
And
offense
now
productivity.
because Alex Grinch got fired. Sorry,
Okay, you guys said Alex Grinch. Boy, things fell off the wagon at the end of Meyer's tenure, didn't they?
Bryce.
Jeez.
You say third base. You say third base. Come
What
on,
happened
dude.
to Urban?
No, keep going, Bryce. Keep going, Bryce. Keep going. I'm gonna get to my points in here soon. Keep going.
Yeah, and then you look at Sharon Moore's situation here. You lose, so you lose your defensive coordinator. He's probably the best
Mm-hmm.
defensive coordinator in college football. Lose your strength and conditioning coach, who's one of the heartbeats of the program. And
Probably the best at his job. One of the best.
yeah, 100%, the top 5, no
Yeah.
doubt,
Yeah.
at his job. And then you lose the whole entire offensive line. You lose your quarterback, running back, receivers. And so you got guys coming back. So obviously the drawer is not empty, but I think there was more returning talent. And then the last point, I'll say this. I don't think recruiting is as significant as it once was, even 5 years ago. But you look at the recruiting classes that the Buckeyes had from 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think 19 was the worst year. And that was, you guys were like 14th.
That was 19th, and that's because it was Ryan Day as the new coach.
Yeah, right. So you had people just decommitting.
And then it didn't matter.
Yeah. So then you had all of that talent still sitting there. So those are my reasons. I do think Sharon Moore, he he has to do a bit of rebuilding, but he does not have to build a program up that Jim Harbaugh did. And he does not have to build the program in the way that Jim Harbaugh had to. It is built. There's a culture. I mean, we've had Garrison. It's February. We're recording this February 5th, so it's been what, a week since all of everything. About a week since everything happened. We have not lost a transfer. No one has come out and said they're transferring yet.
That's
And I'm
not true.
shocked by that. I mean, there's
That's
still
not
time.
true. You had someone transfer this last week.
Who?
Um, a D lineman. I'll look it up for you while you continue. Little, like white guy.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
I think,
yeah.
before the news came out. I think it was, or maybe it was right as it was happening.
It was like last week.
Not a not a huge loss. So
No, no
knock
one
on
worried
wood,
about.
but there's a culture. My point is that the culture's there. Like the Jim or
Uh
Sharon Moore
huh.
does not have to build a culture. Does not have to build a
Okay. Does Michigan have a championship culture?
yes.
If you are a coach walking into a championship culture, are you not born on third base?
Well, it factors into being born on second with the leadoff. That's my point.
If a coach goes into a university that you say has a national championship culture,
I didn't say national. I said championship culture. Conference championships matter. I know you guys haven't won one in a long
no,
time,
no, they
but
matter.
they
They matter,
matter.
Bryce. They matter, Bryce, but that's not what you mean. When you say championship culture, Bryce, you're talking about national championships. And I think if you do you believe Michigan has a national championship culture?
I stand by my statement of a championship culture.
Okay.
But
All right, okay, then let's say championship culture, which means you've won the last three. If you walk into a situation where the team that has a championship culture, are you not born on third base?
well, yeah, it's not that alone.
Then? Yeah, a simple no, Bryce. A simple yes or no will suffice.
Okay, if I'm going to say no, then because I don't think it's simple as that. I think there are contributing factors, which
Okay.
I just listed out.
No, you did. I just wanted to get your. I think when you say no, then that kind of shoots away your argument of him not being born on third.
Yeah, but Garrison, if
But
you lose this much talent like they have lost, and you lose
but
those important
you
staff
guys told
members,
me that you guys are the best at developing in the country, and if that's the case, it shouldn't matter, should it?
that shouldn't.
Okay, then.
But
So, wait. If it shouldn't,
but but
no. You just said it shouldn't.
it
And
shouldn't.
if that's the and if that's the case,
But
if
part of
that
that
is the
culture
case,
is guys like your strength and conditioning coach leaving. Now, is his replacement going to pick up right where he left off? Absolutely could. Absolutely could. But
do you think he
those guys
will?
love Ben Herbert. They loved him. And he's gone.
Okay. So let's read this just so we just get back to this. Life's not fair, and some people are born into advantages that others have to work too hard to achieve. This quote, "Born on Third Base" by Barry Switzer, speaks on to the idea of privilege and entitlement and how it can lead people to believe that they are more deserving of their success than they actually are. Now, Bryce, I want to go over a quick history, okay? This is Sharon Moore, junior college. And mind you, when I talk about this, Bryce, I'm only going to talk their careers. I'm not going to talk about personal stuff in their lives, just careers. Junior college. Then he went to played line line at Butler. Then he transferred to Oklahoma as an offensive guard. Started 14 games. After that, Bryce went to Louisville as a GA in 2008 under Charlie Strong. 2011, he went to full-time assistant with the tight ends. Then in 2014, he went to Central Michigan as a tight end coach. 2017, assistant head coach. So we're what? We're one, two, three, four, five stops in. He's an assistant head coach. 2018, he's hired at Michigan as a tight ends coach. Under his watch, they've had two Joe Moore Award lines. We'll see where some of his linemen go in the draft this year because I think they're all the same guys. I mean, yeah, Oluwatimi who went third round, I think, or fourth. So there's that. Now, I want to go through the extensive career of Ryan Day. Manchester High School. It's in Manchester Central High School. I'm sorry. It's in New Hampshire, Bryce. He was a quarterback in DB. He was a quarterback and defensive back there. Gatorade Player of the Year his senior season in New Hampshire. Fun fact.
There's like four
Uh,
people up there.
yep, exactly, Bryce. After that, he went to University of New Hampshire with Chip Kelly was the offensive coordinator. Set 4 records as a quarterback there, including a pass percentage and touchdowns. After that, Bryce, his first coaching stop was it a D1 school like Sharon Moore? No, 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 no. He went back to New Hampshire, Bryce, as a tight ends coach in 2002. In 2003, Bryce, from 2004, he became the Boston College grad assistant. So he went from a NAA school, a D3 school, then became a GA. Okay, then. Um, then in 2006, I'm sorry, 2005, became the Florida GA. So he's had 2 stops now. For 3 years, he's still been a GA after being a tight ends coach at a D3 school. So he technically went backwards. Okay. 2006, became the Temple wide receiver coach. 2012, he became the offensive coordinator at Temple. Now, mind you, Bryce, we are talking 10 years in, Bryce. 10 years into Sharon Moore's coaching, Bryce. But he was, well, no, I'm sorry, 12 years in, he's already a head coach. 12 years in, he's a head coach, Sharon Moore. We're already at 10 years, Bryce. We're at 10 years for Ryan Day. In 2013 and 14, he becomes the Boston College OC. So he comes back, becomes the OC there. 2015, he's hired as the Eagles QB coach until Kelly is fired. They went 7-9. He had Sam Bradford on his last legs and Mark Sanchez after the butt fumble. The next year, Bryce, he goes to the 49ers with Chip Kelly. They go 2-16. In 2016, Bryce with Kaepernick. That was his best year since 2013. Who was his head coach in 2013? Kaepernick.
Jimmy.
Okay. In that year, Bryce, mind you, Kaepernick only played 11 games this year because he didn't start. But in that year, Bryce, he had his touchdown percentage went up. And he also had the second highest. It was the second highest of his career. Lowest interception rate of career, second highest in yards per game, and then highest success rate in the run game of his career. 2017, he goes to Ohio State. Bryce, he didn't become the head coach at Ohio State until 2019. We are talking 17. It took him 17 years to become a head coach, longer than Sharon Moore has.
Okay, you spent 4 minutes sharing a background of a guy who did he ever played college football? Did he play college football?
I just told you he did.
Where did he play it again?
He played at the University of New Hampshire.
Yeah, right. So he didn't play big time college football.
No, Bryce, you know that's my point. That's my point.
Every coach that doesn't play big time football or pro football has more work to do to get there because you don't have the connections, you don't have the tape, you don't have the presumed knowledge to do that. Everyone knows that. So you have more work to do to get there.
Jim Tressel. Jim Tressel
started coaching 30 years ago. It's different now.
He was a head coach before that, though. So, Bryce, my biggest point is you say he's born on third base simply because of what he walked into Ohio State.
Yes. No,
Bryce. Bryce, the definition of, but hold on, stop. The definition of that term or that phrase.
That's where we're at.
The termination of that phrase, Bryce, literally says where you start from.
The definition
he didn't start from. Bryce, do I have? Barry Switzer coined it. He made it. He made the.
You don't get to coin it for just saying that. What?
Bryce,
you didn't coin third base. What are you talking about?
Bryce, do you know what the word Garrison? Do you know what the word Garrison means? Do you know what the word Garrison means?
Infantry, military.
Okay, yes, a wall for them, a base. Bryce, that term was made hundreds of years ago, and it will never change. Why? Because you can't just take things and change the meaning of them. Words have meaning. Phrases have meanings.
Is Barry Switzer older than baseball?
Like saying dancing with 2 left feet. Bryce, you can't change that. Doesn't all of a sudden mean you're a good dancer. It means you suck at dancing. That
all right. We spent 4 minutes talking about the context that's different than what Jim Harbaugh said.
I don't care what Jim Harbaugh said. You
But that
can't
no, no,
change.
that matters because that's what started all this. That statement was what started all this.
Bryce, well, I said it plenty of episodes ago. Kick rocks. I don't care.
I don't care if
That
you don't
is
care. That's
not
what it is. That's the reality.
born on third. Bryce, to be born on something means it's from the start. From the start. He
Yes.
was never born on
Yes.
third base. He coached at New Hampshire.
As the Ohio State football coach, he was born on third base.
Bryce, that's not no, Bryce. He's talking about his career.
Nope.
You're talking
Nope.
about the
Jim's
career.
talking about nope. Jim's talking about him as the Ohio State football coach.
So it's his fault that he busted his ass, his career.
No,
that he
not
was
his
wait,
fault.
wait, 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 wait,
Not
wait.
his fault.
It's his fault that he busted his ass in his career and got himself after 17 years. After 17 years of never being a head coach, it's his fault that he put himself in position to be able to take. He's not born on third,
but it's the
Bryce.
reality. But it's the reality.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It is.
Bryce,
I'm sorry.
no.
I'm sorry
No, it's
that
not.
it bothers you.
If I started
Bryce,
as a guy cleaning the sweeping all the nails and dust, doing general labor at a construction company, and I worked my way to being the CEO of that company. No, Bryce. Oh, Bryce. I know, Bryce. Listen, what I'm saying though. Compared to Sharon Moore, he did.
Nope.
Compared to Sharon Moore's first job was at a D1 school.
Garrison, if your company is making $1 million a year and you come in and you take over as CEO and you continue to make $1 million,
that's not.
do you get credit?
Wait,
no. Hold on.
No, you're disregarding.
Credit? Do you get credit for building that growth up to $1 million?
If the company had lost millions the years prior, yeah, you do.
It didn't.
Yes, it did. Bryce, you lost. You got boat raced by Purdue. You got boat raced by Iowa. What are you talking about?
Lost. If that analogy,
Bryce, you got boat raced by Iowa and Purdue.
And you won the Rose Bowl. You won
Bryce,
the
you already told Bryce, stop. You can't say that. You can't say that, Bryce. You can't say that to me. You have told me that the Rose Bowl means nothing. You have told me that BCS game, not BCS, but bowl games mean nothing if you're not in the CFP. Has that not come out of your mouth? Thank you. You said that. So if that's the case, don't sit here and say, "Oh, wait, stop." You can't, no, Bryce. You can't go and say that and then say, tongue in cheek, "Oh, you won the Rose Bowl."
Okay,
you can't.
We have a minute left. The gist of this is you guys still don't get the meaning of what Jim Harbaugh said.
No, Bryce. The meaning of it, Bryce, is this. No. Barry Switzer said something. Your coach pulled something out of his arse and tried to change it. Josh Payton agrees with me. That if the president of college football says I'm right, then I'm right.
It's brutal. All right.
It is. The fact that you guys can't comprehend this is sad. It is.
Here we are. I thought you guys got it. You don't. We got Super Bowl this week. 49ers, Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to talk about the players, but we've got no time. But Niners, Ambry Thomas, Ronnie Bell, Jake Moody.
Ambry Thomas is a bad football player. He's a bad football player. He's a bad football player.
Oh, I think he's a basketball player.
No, he's a bad football player. Jake Moody sucked last week, and Ronnie Bell's done nothing worth mentioning this year. The other two guys, Chase Young and the best football player in football right now. Best defensive player, Nick Bosa.
Nick Bosa's good. Young.